Hello folks, so slightly different today. Instead of doing the PowerPoint, we're just going to do it in this format. This is for your numeracy questions. You can expect to see around about 4 marks in your final exam for questions similar to this. So we're going to go through 4 questions and then you have a worksheet associated with this. There's multiple ways that you can do these questions. It really doesn't matter to me how you get the answer, provided you get the right answer. And if this way doesn't work, there's another video from Miss Adams Chemistry, and I will put the link to that in the description below. So I will be using calculator, have that ready, pen and pencil. I think a ruler is quite good for these as well. For the worksheet, it's up to you if you want to print it out. I would recommend you do that, but it's entirely your decision. So let's go through this here. So squalene, a triterpene is included in some flu vaccines, that's relevant, and to enhance the body's immune response. A single dose of flu vaccine contains 10.69 milligrams of squalene. So what I'm going to do first off is I'm going to underline any bits that I think is key to understanding this here. So single dose here, 10.69 milligrams. Calculate the mass of squalene required to produce a batch of 500,000 doses of the flu vaccine. Your answer must be given in kilograms. So there's our key information to start with. So from this, we can get that, what can we get here? So we can say that one dose, so a single dose, let's do this in this color actually here. So one dose equals 10.69 milligrams. Now it doesn't matter when we convert to kilograms, but I prefer to do it at the end, but it really does, you could do it at this point if you wanted to. 500,000 doses equals X milligrams. So this one's really quite straightforward. All we do here is we times 10.69 by 500,000. And that gives us let's do that again. Gives us 5,345,000 milligrams in 500,000 doses. But remember, we want to get this into kilograms. So the way that we do that is we have to, well, we can do it, convert it into grams. So if we divide it by 1,000, that will give us, let's divide that by 1,000. So answer equals, that gives us 5,345 grams. And if we divide that again by 1,000 to turn it into kilograms, is 5.345 kilograms. Remember to put the units down if it asks for it. And there's our first one there. Okay, so that's the first question. Okay, next, so an affected animal must be treated with 9 doses, so that will probably become relevant later on. 20% ethanol solution. Each dose contains 5 cm cubed of ethanol solution for every kilogram of the animal. Calculate the total volume in, let me just put that back, in centimeters cubed, required to treat 3.5 kilogram animal. Okay, so let's have a think here. So we know that, we'll go back to this pen. We know that one dose equals 5 centimeters cubed per kilogram. And really all I'm doing is I'm just sort of writing out the key information again at this point. So we can say that, so let's have a look here. So one dose equals 5 centimeters cubed per kilogram. So if we have a 1 kilogram animal, we would require 5 centimeters cubed per dose. Well, this here we have an animal that is 3.5 kilograms. So we would therefore times 5 by 3.5. So we do 5 times 3.5 equals 5 times 3.5 equals 17.5. Now that tells us that we would require 17.5 centimeters cubed, okay, for our 3.5 kilogram animal. The question is to calculate the total volume in centimeters cubed that we would need. So for every dose, it's 17.5 centimeters cubed. We need 9 doses. So our answer is 17.5 times 9, which equals 117.5 times 9 equals 157.5 centimeters cubed. Okay, so that's number 2. Next one. It is recommended an adult female takes 14.8 milligrams of iron per day. 100 grams of breakfast cereal contains 12 milligrams of iron. Calculate the percentage. So that's what we're figuring out overall. So our answer is going to be expressed as a percentage. The recommended daily amount of iron provided for an adult female by a 30-gram serving. Okay. Right. Okay, so what do we know here? We know that 100 grams gives us 12.0 milligrams of iron. So we need to work out, what is it, 30 grams, how many milligrams are there here? So what I do here in this one, well, there's 2 options really. Let's do it 2 different sides. So the first option is you can kind of convert this into an equation. And I would say that 100 divided by 30 is equal to 12 divided by x. And then you work out 100 divided by 30. Equals 3.33 recurring, equals 12 over x. If you times both sides of the equation by x, that will give you 3.33 times x equals 12. And then you divide both sides by 3.33, so x equals 12 over 3.33, which equals 3.6 milligrams. Okay, so that's one way of doing it, by changing this into this sort of an equation. Now, for a lot of these questions, that does work. Another way of doing it, though, and maybe this is a way that you've come across in maths before, is if you have 100 of something, can we convert that down into 1? So we can say the same thing again here. 100 grams equals 12.0 milligrams. 30 grams equals x milligrams. Well, what about if we have 1 gram? How many milligrams would that be? So we would do 12 over 100 corresponds to, so it's not equals, but corresponds to 1. So let's have a look at that. 12 divided by 100 equals 0.12. So 0.12 corresponds to 1 gram, that is. Well, we need 30 of them, so we would therefore have to times this number by 30, times by 30. So 0.12 times 30 equals 30 grams. So let's do that. 0.12 times 30 equals 3.6 milligrams in 30 grams. And you can see you get the same answer in both. So it doesn't really matter which way you do it. I tend to do towards this. Lots of other people prefer this. Whatever's best for you. Okay. Let's get rid of that. To our last question. So a brand of mouthwash contains the component 1,8-cineol at a concentration of, I hope I pronounced that correctly, a concentration of 0.92 milligrams per centimeters cubed. The cost of 1 kilogram is £59.10. Calculate the cost in pence. So there's going to have to be a conversion later on. That is present in 500 centimeters cubed. Okay, so I think this, from memory, this is a little bit trickier, this one. So let's just write out the information that we have. We know that 1 kilogram equals £59.10. Okay, we can't kind of sort of park that for now. I don't think we're going to use that just yet. What else do we know? So we know that 0.92 milligrams is in every centimeters cubed. we need to know what it is in 500 centimeters cubed. So what is it in 500 centimeters cubed? Well, simply we just times 0.92 times 500. So we have in 500 centimeters cubed bottle of this mouthwash, we have 460 milligrams of the key ingredient here, the active ingredient. So what we need to do now is, well, we've got kilograms here, so we're going to convert this into kilograms. So we're going to divide it by 1,000, which gives us 460 divided by 1,000, and we've now converted it into grams, 0.46 grams. We're going to divide it by 1,000 again. Let's do it this way because we've run out of space. Equals 0.00046 kilograms. So in other words, let's go up here. Let's sort of draw a line down here to signify the difference. So what does that tell us now? We have 0.00046 kilograms, and we need to know the cost in pence for how much that is. So we'll do it in pounds first, then we'll convert it. So X pounds. We don't know what that is at the minute. We don't know how much that's going to cost. We do know that 1 kilogram equals 59.1. So 59 pounds and 10 pence. So the way that we do this now is, again, we could do that equation that I had before, or if you're a little bit more mathematically minded, you should eventually get to the conclusion that we times this number by this. That gives us 0.00046 times 59.1 equals 0.027. And our X there that we're calculating is in pounds. Our answer has to be in pence. So we therefore times it by 100. Oops. To give us 2.72 pence. Okay, so there's some examples. If you can go through the worksheet, get in touch if you need some help. And thanks for watching.